Okay. So, welcome everyone again. This is part two of the topic we started last week. Uh, the question comes in our life, one way or the other. We sometimes feel that, okay, where does my personality come from? Uh, Different people may have different situation, but commonly this question brings a lot of topics in our mind. So last week we talked about the karma, the past impressions, that how some skaras, they are carried from one generation to the another, one life to the other. Then we have the genetics, the biology, and when we call, the karma traveling, they travel through genes actually. That's how the energy is transferred. So soul remains. Soul is energy, and the energy is transferred through our genes. And that is how the family and the environment comes into play. Why? Genes are like a switch, electric switch, right? You have a fan, you have light, you have all kind of gadgets in your house, but they are not working all the time. When you need, you turn on the light. In the daytime, you turn it off. So genes can be turned on and off as well. We have the power, we just don't know how. But if you understand and if you have that capability, then you can change the genetics, and then you can overcome the family or traditional and other issues. Then comes the free will. Then comes the spirituality that explains how things work. There is a concept of pre-birth planning, soul plan. There are differences between different traditions like Vedanta, Buddhism, yoga, mystic tradition, and they explain the same thing in a slightly different way, whether it is through inner self, Atma, whether there is the personality in terms of, again, the mental, the physical, and again the energy and different things, or the gunas, which is sattva, rajas, or tamas, because that's involved in your karmic impression and hence your personality. So there are different topics. So sometimes people may talk about, say for example, just these three gunas, and they will explain personality with respect to gunas. And someone can say, no, I heard about the karmas and this. So it's not a question of who's right, who's wrong. It's a question of, if you understand the topics, the concepts, then you will know that probably everyone is talking about the same thing but in a different way. The truth is, they all interfere, they all impact, they all have some contribution, and that is the most important thing for someone to understand. So can we change our personality? Absolutely. That's where spirituality comes into play. But before we get to that point, we have to understand all these critical things. So rather than asking where does my personality come from, if we ask who's aware of my personality, may be a better question. The psychiatrist will explain one way, and of course spiritually we already talked about, but then there comes a big question. What is, in English language there are limited scope of explaining things because of the terms we use. So mind is commonly used, but then in mind there are two terms. Sometimes people use into just very loosely, but they are different actually. Subconscious mind or unconscious mind. How do you access subconscious mind? How do you access unconscious mind? So we talked about it, that how these two are kind of different depth. So subconscious mind, right? You may have heard about the example of an iceberg. Hardly you see 5-10% on the top, majority is underneath, and that is kind of reflection of subconscious or unconscious mind. So subconscious is there, that You can act on, you can access the information, but day-to-day basis, you are not worried. So it's in the background, but unconscious you are not aware of. You just don't know. For example, you don't know what you are carrying from previous generations, but subconscious could be, I know driving, I know the route, and sometimes you are driving 1 hour to work, and if you really think, how did I come here? You have no idea. You are in your own thought process, because subconscious mind knows the route, knows you know driving, and it does what it does. But unconscious means what you are not aware of. Something happened when you were very young. Something happened in your previous life. Unconscious mind may have that information, not you. So let's carry forward this discussion to a point which will kind of involve a lot of subtopics. So the question asked was, only one mistake if a person does in life, the whole life the person suffers. Everyone keeps talking about the same thing, and then the person may feel guilty that, okay, because of me others are suffering, and that suffering, guilt, trauma, pain, everything becomes jumbled up. Why other people have to suffer? Why not just me? Those kind of things. So remember, this is a very common phenomena that if you take a whiteboard, for example, right? Take a whiteboard and put a black dot somewhere on it. Not necessarily in the middle. It could be on any one of the side, corner, middle, left, right, whatever. Just put a random, or just draw something very small. So say the whiteboard is, say, 6 feet by 4 feet. But you just put not even a centimeter, some black random, object in it. And then ask 10 people. They will all talk about that small 1 centimeter black random mark that you have put. Whether it's an alphabet, whether it is just you scribble and just left it there like a shape that people cannot explain. Most of the time you will see 99% or whatever, most of the people will end up talking about that 1 centimeter mark you left on the whiteboard. But the whiteboard is 6 feet by 4 feet in our example. That means 99% of the space is white. People don't talk about it. People talk about that one small dot kind of thing in the middle or on the whiteboard. So this becomes human nature. We talk about one mistake our whole life, either what you as a person did or someone did to you. And we forget millions of positive energy we have received, millions of positive examples we have when people love us, people support us, or we have achieved so much in our life. But we keep crying, whining, or complain about one incident in our life that you wish you could erase, you could redo your, life without that particular incident. So this becomes a story for everyone. We'll come to this topic again, but let me go briefly here why we keep referring to soul plan or pre-birth planning. It is linked, though I'm not saying just put everything on that. But yes, if this concept is something you believe in, then you know that this was planned. Why it was planned? To learn. Who gonna learn? The soul. But then why we are suffering? Suffering is for the physical body. Why physical body got involved in this? Learning is for soul. Because soul cannot learn without the physical body. You need a vehicle to travel, and body is that vehicle for soul. So just keep this thing in mind. We'll keep coming and talking about this. So if we talk about that, why that one mistake ruin our life, spoils our life. So we all have different stories, different reasons to connect with the same example. I will just take one example in today's session. You can have your own and you will find that it works the same way. So one mistake, doesn't matter what. Emotional weight is usually much, much heavier than the mistake itself. So spiritually, psychologically, there are different ways But you may have heard about this example. Say a normal glass of water. I'm sure you will say, even a what's the big deal? Anybody can just pick it up from the table, drink it, put it back. Glass of water is glass of water. How much weight can it be in a normal glass of water? But imagine if someone tells you, you will lift the glass and now you are holding it. You will say, not a big deal. I can hold it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But now someone says, hold it for 2 hours. Now your arms, your muscles will say, buddy, now it's getting too much. Why I'm holding it for 2 hours? Imagine if someone tells you hold it for 2 days, 2 months, 2 years. No way anybody would be happy doing that. You will put it down. But emotions coming from some event in life, we hold it for decades, throughout our whole life. Somebody said something, how dare he or she did to me, said to me, this happened, that happened, or your own. Why did I do this? Why did I say this and all? We hold those emotions for life. So you can only imagine the load. If we process that emotion typically we say is energy in motion. If it is energy in motion, gone, cleansed, detoxed. But when you hold that emotion, now it becomes toxic. So first thing we have to remember, it is not the emotion itself, it is how long we are holding it. If it is like a river, you let it flow, gone. When you hold, now it is becoming like a dam, holding so much water that if the dam, in any situation break down, that whole, the reservoir behind the dam will destruct anything comes its way downstream. So remember, spiritually it's so common, doesn't matter which way you look at it. It teaches you that your past actions, you can say it's a mistake, okay, but that should not be your identity. Mistake, okay, for a moment we say agree, you said something, did something, but that should not be your identity. That means process it, release it. How will you release it? You have to learn from it. Only when you learn from it, it has really served its purpose. Now, if a person is still carrying forward that guilt, pain, suffering, it is not serving you anything. It's not helping you in growing. Growing means spiritually. It is only giving you suffering. That means somewhere you still need to learn something. And that something could be how to process. Why to process is the first question. That's why you're not processing it. And again, the spirituality will tell you that, okay, we are not saying this is right or this is wrong, what was done is right or wrong, but certainly you need to learn how to process. So, understand it this way. Yes, you are responsible for your action, but you should not be defined by them. This is the most important thing. If people keep talking about it, they remind you. You cannot control what others will remember, what others will say, what others will do. You cannot. You can only control whether you react, whether you act emotionally every time or not. Your current action consistently is demonstrating who you are, because your personality is coming from your thoughts, your emotions, and then all the way to action, reaction, and everything. In the life, we have lots to learn, but that doesn't mean that defines us. If you know how to process, no issue. I'll give you one example. Suppose your guest comes to your house. There is a child, there is an adult, doesn't matter who. Somebody drops a glass. It shatters, it breaks, all on the floor. What would you do? Leave it there whole life? Will you make your guest feel uncomfortable till the time they are at your home? Because now everybody is walking around that broken glass pieces on the floor, and the person will be in so much guilt whole time. Or will you clear up the mess immediately and say, hey, don't worry, it happens, it's life, and then put those pieces, throw them away? Now the floor is clean, everybody can walk freely without any guilt. What would you do? If you think you will clean up immediately, then why don't we do with our emotions? That's exactly what we need to do. But what do? We leave the glass pieces on the floor, let people walk over it, and people will cry, pain, and again we will be, see, you broke it, see, you broke it. Or if I broke it, I will be under constant guilt. Oh my God, because of me, see, this person got hurt. Oh, again, someone else got hurt because of me. Two things. Doesn't matter whether the other person or you, clean up the mess. That's the message. You clean up the mess, now anybody walks in that area will not be suffering. So the question is, when we say, oh, one incident in my life is messing up my whole life, or why because of me others are suffering, because we are not cleaning up the mess. Either I'm not cleaning my own, other person is not doing. Now, if other person is not doing, can I control? No. You can only control your life, your actions. Your personality will come from yours. And that's the key point to understand. Only consider and react on your thing. Learn the lesson. Everything is happening to make you spiritually better, higher, with a higher frequency, consciousness level to go up, up and up. So learn the lesson. Don't let it go without learning. Stop replaying it mentally, because we are very good in. Every day morning, oh my God, this is who I am. Oh, I cannot do this, or I'm not good in this, or I made this mistake. Whatever that one thing is in your head, every day we, keep repeating it. I'm not good in this, I'm not good in this. Oh, my parent doesn't like me. My boss is, so painful. He hates me. My friends, my neighbor, whatever that story is for your particular case. Stop replaying. Remove that replay button from your life. Find a reason why people will remember you. Find a positive contribution to the society, to neighbors, to your family. And don't worry about something that had happened in the past. If you cannot process, if you cannot let go, that means your soul is not ready to progress. That's okay. There is next life. Come back again and learn. But if you cannot process, if you cannot clean up the mess, certainly you look forward to the next life. So, whenever the thought, is coming, mistake, negativity, guilt, whatever, notice it. We meditate. You can notice it. Don't resist. Anything you try to resist, persist. It's like a spring back. The more you're trying to push anything, it bounces back, in fact, with more energy. So don't try to resist. Don't deny it that this thing doesn't exist. No, let it be. Accept it exists. But also, you have to remember, say, it may be a fault, mistake, error, but it cannot define me. I am much higher than just one mistake in my life. Return to your breath. This is what you do in your meditation. Keep meditating. The negative thought comes. Say, okay, yes, I did it, but I cannot be defined by that one moment in my life. Slowly, you will see that strong reaction is becoming weaker, 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 weaker. And one day that reaction will go away. You did. And that is the litmus test. You don't have to do any workshop. You don't have to go to any guru. That have I overcome my guilt? No, you will know. Any moment if somebody talks about that thing and you don't react, you know you have overcome. But if anybody or your own thought makes you dance like vibrating toy, you are so angry, you are so upset, then you know you have work to do. You have not truly processed. I'm not using the word here forgiveness, if you have noticed. I'm just saying process, because it is a mix of little more than just forgiveness. Forgiveness is a part of it, but not the entire action. So you have to process that. You don't process, it will live with you whole life. And then what? You come back next life, keep working on it. We also talked about the tool. Meditation is the tool. Remember one thing. In my life, I made one mistake or whatever. Something is bothering me, why I did this. And I'm thinking about that thought whole day. And in my mind, I'm also thinking that everybody else around the world is blaming me or thinking about me in the same way. Then remember, masters, no one has that much time for you. Sorry. You're not that important for them. They have their own one or two things they are constantly thinking about. So you may think, oh my God, this person must be blaming me, this person must be cursing me. Yes, once, twice, whatever the person may be. Not like you yourself blaming every day. Because they are busy in their own mess. So stop blaming yourself. Start working on the solution. Let people mention it occasionally. Let people laugh at you. Let people cry. Let people say whatever. Or you yourself, doesn't matter. When your awareness, when your wisdom increases, you will have a calmness on your face. You will have a smile on your face. Live on your term. Live with your values. Live with your dream, your goal, not others. Stop letting others define you. Stop letting others dictate your life. You decide your target, you decide your path. Yes, happened what happened, move on. And slowly you will see your personality changing. Slowly you will see you have grown out of that past, whatever the error, mistake or thing was. Let's take a small example. In our life, we have all kind of situations. So many times, people come and they say, okay, in this example, say you have your child, young child, and then you let the child go with the grandparents, especially, US, Canada, this is a very common thing. Or, when we look for babysitting or something, the child is so common to send to daycare and things like that. So it doesn't matter, you're going daycare, you're going with grandparents. So in this example, let's see the child is gone with grandparent to a different city or different country, right? While see the parents, either they are doing higher studies, they are settling down, whatever, right? It's just an example. Now the child is missing the parent in spite of being with the grandparent. Now child thinks, oh, emotional wound, right? Wound of abandonment. My parents abandoned me. Now the child thinks my parent is at fault. It's a thought. But we'll see how two different truths can actually exist at the same time. So from the child perspective, child is experiencing loneliness, separation, insecurity. The child may think not everything, one of the other, but examples. Oh, I was not important enough for my parents. My parent left me. They abandoned me. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. I'm not important. I'm not good in whatever. So there could be not all, one of this thought, or there are so many more, these are just examples, may come in child's, whatever comes. Now child is holding that as a belief system. These feelings are real. Doesn't matter parents' intent was good. Child doesn't know. Child is young. So emotional wound don't depend what was the intent. Emotional wound happens how I felt. So if I am a child, I felt hurt. I felt hurt. Doesn't matter the good intent of parents or anyone else. From the parent perspective, you are doing for the family, for betterment of the child, for overall, the success they will have later on. Grandparent, they are loving the child and they think, parents are thinking, who better person, right? And for them, it is the least of the suffering separation, and parents themselves are feeling the separation. They are not in happy jolly mood. They are also suffering, missing the child. But remember, neither of these two perspectives cancels each other. Parents are right, child right, they both are suffering. So what is needed? You keep suffering, the child can keep blaming the parent for the whole life? Maybe. Should the parent keep suffering whole life? Maybe. So what needs to be done? When the child becomes adult, now it is his or her responsibility to be able to distinguish what happened. Yes, parents were physically absent, but the meaning I have attached to that. So as a child, the fact is parents were not with me, but the meaning I attached is I was abandoned because I wasn't loved. I was abandoned because I lack whatever. The 10 people may have 10 different thoughts. So the fact remains that something happened, which is a fact, but something the child attached the meaning. That attachment is individual. I think that way, I attached it. These two are totally different things. So how to heal? The better question is it possible that my parents really loved me? Yes, they took a decision which hurt me. So, simple question. Can love and hurt coexist? Parents love me, but still they send me away, so it hurt the child. So the hurt of the child and love of the parent, can they not coexist? That's a question. But at what point the child will be able, when child becomes adult, will be able to ask this question? It looks or sounds very simple, but masters, it really depends on frequency of the person, spiritual, the level of spirituality or consciousness, what we call. Normal person will stay in guilt whole life or make the other person stay in guilt whole life. It's only this, you can say, the wisdom of understanding these different topics that someone can say, wait a minute, they actually did it for me. Yes, it hurt me, no deny, but they did it for me. So what I'm thinking they did it because they don't love me is wrong. They did it because they really love me. Yes, I don't like what they did, but at least now I'm breaking that super glue into very weak glue. Why? Because I have detached what my interpretation of that was. And that is half the battle, which is the most difficult part of the battle. Once this is gone, the other half goes easily. But the first half will only go if the child's spiritual level is improving or higher. So first we have to come into spirituality, understand all that before we can expect the child to come. People don't know what forgiveness is and how to do. So forgiveness, again, in this example, we are not saying that, oh, it doesn't exist. No, I don't have any wounds. No. Don't tell yourself as a child that, no, my parent did the best thing. Wound doesn't exist. Nothing happened to me. No, you cannot fool yourself. Forgiveness means first to understand. Forgiveness means let go the resentment. First, the first half has to go. The interpretation. Yes, they did something. Okay, they may do certain things differently. But the most important painful part was my interpretation. not the fact that they let me stay alone. So that's the most important. Can you force it on them? No. But you can come to a level where you say, I cannot be defined by someone else. I cannot be defined by that choice of mine. So mature perspective, if parents genuinely care, is what? Yes, parent made a decision, may have resulted in some wound, but at least the child acknowledged they were trying for my betterment and this happened, that's okay. Holding both truth is more healing than choosing one side. So child doesn't have to say my side or their side. Understand both is the first victory and most important one. Yes, karma theory comes and people think, oh, because I deserve this, oh, I must have done in my previous life something bad. No. But one thing is sure, anything happens in our life is a catalyst for learning. So certainly, whether it was resilience, compassion, wisdom, self-understanding, self-love, whatever, everyone will have a different soul plan. So one thing is sure, our every experience, especially the difficult one, they come as a triggering point, as a catalyst. These things happen so that we learn that. If nothing difficult, if there is no reason to change our direction, you keep driving straight. But if there is a road closure, what will you do? You take a detour. That's why the road closure comes in our life. So the deepest healing will come on both sides when you don't ask who was right. Ask, how can I free myself from carrying this pain for the rest of my life? That's all what matters. Your pain, your life is getting messed up. Don't worry about the other party. You just cannot do anything for the other party. They have to work on it. You can only work on yours. So, can accountability and compassion not exist together? If I have to do the same thing again, what will you do differently? Ask such question. As a parent, you may say, okay, maybe I will do this differently, so that yes, something has to be done, but it will not hurt the other party as it hurt the last time. Learn something from it and release your guilt. From soul plan, pre-birth planning, when we look at it, there seems to be a very clear, direction that yes, this is what made you learn. But remember, masters, find out really what is the one key thing life is or universe is trying to tell you to change or improve. These incidents and cases are just a tool. You may feel I am suffering. You may feel that, oh, it was my soul plan, what can I do? Or it's my karma, what can I do? No. Identify, analyze that, okay, what it is that it is hurting me, why, what, where, when. When you ask such question and you say, okay, the child is thinking like this, I'm getting hurt, this is what I did, this was the truth, this is the fact, intent was this, but the interpretation of the child is this. First come out of it, work on yourself, make it very clear that you are not ignorant about the other party. You can only work on yourself. You can only share that guy's or child or whatever the thing is, sometime colleagues, neighbors, whatever. This is the route, this is the way, this is what I'm doing, and I can only do for myself. They like it, they do it. They don't work, they say, what is spirituality or what is meditation or what is all this? That's okay, leave it. Not every soul is ready for advanced working. Okay? And don't tell them, oh, this is your pre-birth or soul plan. That's why you went through this. No. Soul plan and all thing comes a little later. If they don't know anything about spirituality, if they don't know about any part of the wisdom, they will just ignore and they will put more blame on you. All you need to do is ask, is there a deeper meaning in this experience? Means what it is teaching me, what qualities it is inviting me to develop. This is the most important thing. Just one thing, if you understand out of all this, you will be through. So let's recap. We talked about you have to clean up the mess. Example of you, somebody broke the glass, right? Pieces are shattered on the floor. You have to clean up the mess. Now, happened is happened. You can either say, I will leave the mess on the floor so that this person understands next time how to handle the glass piece better. Yes. Now, what is this? Is this your ego? Are you getting revenge? Is this your anger? So you can leave the pieces on the floor, let the other person or suffer or humiliate. You're kind of humiliating him or her. Or you let go and say, okay, it happens. It was my very favorite glass piece or whatever it was, but okay, I take life as life. So who's getting qualifying here for the next round? The person who let go, who processed that emotion. Yes, it may have hurt me for 30 seconds, my best, say a display unit, glass, whatever. You get the benefit. So each individual has to work on this. What is it? If you say, yes, I was so angry, I said something, next time I should not even say this. That means you are observing yourself. That's what we do in meditation. What else meditation is? You observe yourself and say, this is how I behave, which we call personality. That under this situation, this, how I will act, react, and all those things based on the person. Some people say, oh yeah, he's a very calm person. And some people, oh, you just say anything, touch him, and he will be all over. That's your personality. Observe, change, keep improving. Healing doesn't mean erasing of the memory. It means memory no longer controls you, your present life. Deepest healing comes when you can say, yes, I understand the hurt, the incident, that they are fact, but they cannot define me. They cannot dictate who I will be. You're not denying the past. You learn what is it that it is allowing me to change, or what is it that it helped me understanding or learning. I must have got some benefit out of this incident. What is that? Then feel proud or positive about what you learned out of it, rather than staying in the negativity. Detach the interpretation that, oh, my parent doesn't love me, that's why they send it. No. Yes, they send it, but they send it because they love me. Reverse the story. Rewire your brain. Whatever you thought you missed because they were not there, rewire. Stop blaming. They are doing those things now. If you say, oh, I missed my birthday, okay, parents were not there, but are they celebrating your birthday now every year when you came back? Yes. Okay, if the answer is yes, that means they love you, they care for you, blah blah blah. What it means, you have to let go the past. Don't say those 1 year, 2 year, 1 month, whatever time you were away, whole life you are crying for that. Analyze what is the fact now, and then compare and see, is my interpretation right or wrong? No, I am important, my parents love me, they care, and blah, all those things. And this way you will come to forgiveness. Forgiveness is that, okay, whatever it is, whether it is soul plan, whether it is what, I went through this because I learned that. And naturally then you are diluting this guilt, and one day you will see it's gone. Because you are saying, I cannot be defined by this. But once you do meditation, once you come into this, it becomes very easy. Otherwise, it is very difficult. You cannot force people to come into spirituality. You can only guide, share your wisdom, don't force, and if they don't come, do not feel bad. You cannot force others, masters. So, masters, this is the part two of where our personality comes from. Now, if you have any further question, especially the one this was asked by Gruva, so if you have or anyone else has, please feel free to raise your hand, clarify, or you have a sharing. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks Gauravji explaining. It took long time, but what I understood is say good or bad. It is a both are equal. We need to accept it. Okay, that is you told me that even though 99% is good things are there, one bad. That is also plan. It is a planned, but that is a soul plan or past mistakes. We don't know that, correct?
See, you would know if you come to this, the fountain of wisdom, you may call it. Once we come into spirituality, once we
Mhm.
understand what is happening, then you would know, is it coming from my past, my
Mhm.
ancestors, or whatever. But
Mhm.
initially, when you don't know anything, you don't
Okay.
have to know. That's the point. Just
Mm.
take these fundamental key topics, two, three things that we talked about, separate the intent first, understand what it is that it made me learn, the what benefit I
Okay.
got out of it.
Okay, okay. Instead of thinking too much that bad things, what I learned from that one and how my life is changed. Okay,
Correct.
or what is the movement after that? So until before that, what was there, and after that, that is you need to know that. That is it will help that one instead
Correct.
of worrying about why mistake that one. Yeah, correct. Okay. Second thing is, yeah, you told me that we need to, you know this what is that, this is a common and accept it, we need to accept it this one and continue further. And we, one more thing is, people are talking about these things you discussed. So that is the, don't think about other people what talking is. They will always talking. Okay, but how you are control yourself, that is the matter here. That is the
Correct.
second thing. Okay, that is the second thing. And this kind of such avoidance in future or that is also any plan. We can do any plan or sorry, any meditation will help, or that also we don't have plan anything. That will happen next time also. That is our control. Anything in future, that kind of situations will have control. Avoid it. That kind of.
So, Gruva, beautiful point. See, if you really learn the
Mm,
lesson, if you
mm,
really understand these topics, how they are connected,
mhm.
right, you will not make a mistake next time.
Okay.
But
Mm,
if you do, then
mm.
again, don't get into guilt. Say, okay, last time my negative score or was say minus
Okay.
50. Today is only minus 10. I'm improving.
Okay.
So flip the coin always because everything is for the improvement of your soul.
Okay.
But our human body naturally goes to minus. Oh my God, my score is minus. Yeah,
Yeah.
but minus 10 is better than minus 50.
Some improvement is there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If it was so simple, why wouldn't we need 400 years or 400 lifetimes? Tell me.
I don't,
If
really, I
the
don't know
learning was
that.
that simple.
Really, I don't know that 400 years of sleep, but because one life is still this kind of problems, I don't know 400 lives. Really. Okay. Okay, thanks. And also, you given bonus for that child example. That also is helping in future. I was also thinking always, same thing. My mind. Okay, why that guy is, even my son now is young, is turning. So why this guy is not listening? Why that is? I'm telling good thing from him, but he is not at all care about. So now I understood that maybe, yeah, that is also will apply it. Thank you for that. Okay.
Welcome, Dhruva. Welcome. Pratima ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello गौरव जी. I have actually two questions. First
Mhm.
is जैसे आपने बोला कि गेस्ट ने ग्लास ब्रेक कर दिया तो समटाइम इट हैपेंस कि जैसे घर के फैमिली मेंबर्स हैं, दे डू इट इंटेंशनली अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन। एक बार हमने बोला इट्स ओके, इट्स ओके, इट्स ओके, बट जब कोई इंटेंशनली बार बार चीजें रिपीट करे सेम वे और इन अनदर वे, तो इन दैट पोजीशन एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग अपन उतना काम नहीं रह पाते हैं, लेट गो नहीं कर पाते हैं, बिकॉज आई वी नो कि दैट पर्सन इज डूइंग इट इंटेंशनली, ही नोज व्हाट ही इज डूइंग। तो उस सिचुएशन में हाउ शुड वी हैंडल दिस थिंग?
So beautiful point or question, Pratima ji. See, देखिए, let me repeat one thing जो forgiveness topic का है. If you recall that topic, उसमें एक बहुत important point था. Forgiveness does not mean that that person can come again and again in your life and do the same mistake. So, for example, if somebody comes and slaps me today, forgiveness does not mean you come every day and keep slapping me. So, in that particular reference, you have to be clear that what is my learning, right? So you have to understand, if it is not accident that somebody broke the glass, whenever this person comes, every time he's breaking one glass, so this cannot be an accident. So say example, you also know when he or she goes to others house, nothing happens. In their own house nothing happens, so then why only at my place? Or the other example could be that, oh, actually this person does this wherever this person goes. Just having this information will clarify a lot of things for you. In one case, you know that it is only happening in my place. Second case, you know nothing to do with you. This person is absent-minded or whatever the case may be. Then you don't blame yourself. Don't even think about it. Mentally, you are ready. This person comes, this will come. Okay, next time don't give him a glass, give him a steel glass. Okay, drop
But
buddy.
when it happens to at my place only, then what?
Right. So the other case, when you know this is only happening at my place, or this particular incident happens with me only, not with others. Sometimes it is very clear. This is how they kind of treat me, and other people they treat very differently. There is always a message. Now this is an example we didn't discuss, but I'll give you very brief without getting into deeper. This thing is, the example is a person always complaining that these group of people are always treating me like this, but the other people in the group they treat totally differently. No issue with them, and you feel, why only me they are treating like this? Forget how they are treating you. This is the part we talked about. Forget the guilt. Look at the, what is the learning? Learn why they are taking you this way. What is it in you that you may change, that you don't get this kind of behavior for them? Do I need to improve my self-esteem, my self-confidence, self-respect, the way I communicate, maybe the way I conduct myself? Something it is pointing out to you. And then you say, okay, next time this is what I'm gonna be. And as they see that you are now stronger and stronger, you will see their behavior changing. So in long story short, or as a blanket statement, I'm saying these incidents makes you stronger. What do you mean by stronger depends in your exact example, because 10 people will have 10 different things to improve on to become stronger. So आपको देखना है आपके केस में ये किस चीज़ पे हिट हो रहा है, कि आप कुछ बोल नहीं पाते हैं, आप कुछ कर नहीं पाते हैं, या दे कम एंड ट्रीट यू व्हाट, एंड उससे आपको पता पड़ेगा कि आपको क्या इम्प्रूव करना है. एंड ये आई हैव सीन अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन, द मोमेंट यू इम्प्रूव व्हाट इट इज़ ट्राइंग टू टीच यू, बिहेवियर ऑफ सच पीपल चेंजेस. एंड आपको लगेगा कि यार कैसे चेंज होगा, मैंने तो उनसे कुछ किया ही नहीं है, मैंने खाली अपना कैरेक्टर, अपनी पर्सनैलिटी चेंज की है. लेकिन आई गारंटी यू दिस बेस्ड ऑन माई एक्सपीरियंस कि ये बहुत कॉमन है. चेंज कितना चेंज होगा, क्या होगा, ऑफकोर्स वो हर एक की कहानी अलग है.
Yes.
लेकिन इम्पैक्ट आता है.
और इन अदर वे कैन आई टेक इट लाइक कर्मा, पास्ट का कर्मा के कारण भी ये हो सकता है? इज इट पॉसिबल? मतलब इन दिस डायरेक्शन शुड आई टेक इट?
देखिए, पॉसिबिलिटी तो सब है. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट कर्मा, वी टॉक्ड अबाउट मेनी
Okay.
थिंग्स, राइट? सोल प्लान, प्री बर्थ प्लानिंग एंड बट उससे तो नेगेटिविटी मिलेगी, आपको जस्टिफिकेशन मिल जाएगा कि यार
Yes.
ठीक है, एक क्लीन चिट मिल गई
Okay.
कि व्हाट कैन आई
Okay.
डू, ये तो फिर एस्केप राउट हो गया ना।
Okay.
आपको एस्केप नहीं करना है, ये सब अंडरस्टैंडिंग के टूल्स हैं खाली।
Okay.
मुद्दा ये है व्हाट इज इट देयर फॉर मी टू लर्न, दैट्स ऑल।
Yeah.
मेरे को क्या इम्प्रूव करना है अपने में जिससे ये चीज़ें मेरे साथ दोबारा ना हो,
Got your point.
राइट। अगर अगर इसी ग्लास वाले एग्जाम्पल को हम लें कि यार ये मेरे ही घर में आके गिलास तोड़ता है, राइट, वॉट एवर द केस में भी, मैं रूड होने की बात नहीं कर रहा, बट वन ऑप्शन इज लाइक यू नो द पर्सन कम्स एंड से चलिए मैंने झाड़ू यहीं पे बगल में ही रखी है, मुझे पता है गिलास टूटेगा, तो आई हैव अ डस्ट कलेक्टर एंड दिस रेडी। So now that person will be what? What are you talking? Right? Now the person will be more careful. Right? So there are many ways. अब इस एग्जाम्पल में आप रूड नहीं हो रहे हैं, आप पहले अगर एग्जाम्पल है खाली कि अब मैं कभी किसी से कुछ कह ही नहीं पाता हूँ, अपनी को डिफेंड नहीं कर पाता हूँ, अब मैं डिफेंड कर रहा हूँ, अब मैं अपनी एक्सप्रेशंस और क्लियर एंड ऑनेस्ट कम्युनिकेशन पहले कर दे रहा हूँ।
Okay.
सो सामने वाला भी चेंज हो जाएगा। समटाइम वी डोंट इवन कम्युनिकेट टू द अदर पर्सन, योर बॉडी लैंग्वेज, योर कम्युनिकेशन, योर एक्शन स्पीक स्ट्रॉन्गर देन योर वर्ड्स। यू डोंट हैव टू से अ वर्ड टू द अदर पर्सन, वो मैसेज पहुंच जाता है। आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज में है कि अरे हाउ कैन आई से एनीथिंग टू दिस पर्सन, ये रिश्ते में ऐसे हैं या मतलब कॉलीग्स में इस लेवल पे, हाउ कैन आई टॉक, हाउ कैन आई से दिस। वो साम इवन एनिमल किंगडम, आप जंगल में जाते होते हैं ना कि एक जंगली जानवर आपके सेंस कर लेता है, क्योंकि जब आप डरे हुए होते हैं वी बॉडी के अंदर अलग हार्मोन्स बनते हैं और जानवरों में सेंस होती है, और दैट्स हाउ दे सेंस कि सामने वाला जानवर डरा हुआ है या इंसान डरा हुआ है, एंड दे अटैक यू, अदरवाइज दे वोंट अटैक। सो पॉइंट हियर इज लर्न फ्रॉम इट, इम्प्रूव योर पर्सनैलिटी, एंड यू विल सी कि अगर ये आपके सोल प्लान का पार्ट है, अगर आपने उन्हें रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आके मेरे साथ ऐसा बिहेव करो जिससे मैं ये सीखूं, अगर वो आप सीख लेंगे, वो इंसिडेंट्स होने अपने आप बंद हो जाएंगे। सेम पर्सन विल बिहेव डिफरेंटली विदाउट यू टेलिंग एनीथिंग टू दैट पर्सन। व्हाई? आपका लर्निंग कंप्लीट हो गई है। अगर लर्निंग कंप्लीट नहीं हुई है तो वो रिपीट होता जाएगा।
Yeah. Thank you, Guruji. Got your point.
वेलकम
Very
प्रतिमा
much.
जी। स्मिता जी प्लीज गो अहेड। आप म्यूटेड हैं स्मिता जी।
Okay. Thank you, Guruji, for this excellent workshop. And today's question was something that we all relate and we need to work on. Following to Pratimaji's question that you responded, like when it's regarding family members and they come and break the glass and you don't want to hurt them, especially when you are in elderly position and you just want to let it go because relationships matter more than anything else, and you don't say anything or react in any way, you just go ahead and apologize or just say forgive for if, because our intention is different but it is interpreted in different way, and also the feelings that they create is what that is heightened, and there is what do you call unpleasant thing going on. Is that right way?
नॉट एट ऑल, नॉट एट ऑल। बिकॉज ये जो आपने एग्जाम्पल दिया है, द एग्जाम्पल यू गेव इज ऑफ फियर, इज ऑफ टोटली गिवन अप एंड ignorance of your own learning. So this cannot be right. You are basically giving up that the other party, whosoever that party is, you are supreme and I am kind of, at your service. That is the reference. For example, this is an example. If I go to a restaurant, the waiter or the owner of the restaurant will not say anything to me. I break one glass, they will say, oh, don't worry sir, it happens. The second glass, oh, we'll take care, because they know 10 other customers are watching how I'm treating this customer. Right? That means they know the person is doing something wrong, but they cannot afford to say something because they are not looking at the glass, they are looking at the future business. And not only business from this particular customer, the 10 others who are watching. It's a fear. Fear
Okay.
can never be justified in spirituality because it's one of the lowest level frequency emotion. So when somebody is coming, doesn't matter who,
Mm.
and doing something is for my learning. If I
Yep.
believe in any of the spiritual concept, whether karma, whether past life, pre-life, pre-birth, whatever, it is for my learning. There is no concept which can justify for me to keep my mouth shut. If I'm keeping my mouth shut, means I'm fearful for something, whatever that something is. I will lose the relation. What about the other people, right? All those kind of things. But it is fear. However, we sugarcoat it. So that means I'm not putting me in the front. I'm not learning. I'm not growing. I'm just trying to hold on to something and accepting unacceptable behavior of others in my life.
That means this will keep on repeating the pattern.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I mentioned before, animals can sense, right? That's what happens. You go in the jungle, they say first stare at the, whatever the, right, say coyote or whatever we see on the street these days a lot. You try to run away, they will chase you. You stare at them, they will run away.
Mm. So even though coming into spirituality and knowing so many concepts, you are still wavering. Like 90% of the time, you are in a very stable mode, doing your work every day and all. But 10% of the time, you still go into the other mode that maybe it was my mistake or not. How do you address and deal with this?
So first of all, understanding is the most important thing, right? Like I mentioned before, why do we need 400 lives if it was so simple? So I will say that again. So never be in a guilt mode that, oh my God, I'm struggling or I'm spinning my wheels, like, we say that I'm not improving. Don't worry about it. If from 0 you have come to plus 10, it's a big victory. Easy part is, no, let me rewind back. First, to come to spirituality, it takes a lot of effort for the soul. Baby, infant soul generally don't show up here. So if you are here, you are listening, pat yourself on the back that as a soul, you have some maturity. Now, after coming to this level, next level is learning different topics. You are aware of a lot of topics. Pat yourself on the back. You have further maturity level. Now comes the hardest part. Hardest, executing that learning. And this is where most of the people you will see spinning the wheels and they say nothing happens, nothing happens. Yes, be positive that you have come so far. But it is the execution which makes life more interesting.
Challenging.
You are afraid of, oh, how can I lose? Oh, he's my boss or my in-law or my neighbor or my family, immediate family member or my first cousin. Doesn't matter who. We pick them for a specific reason. They are behaving with me for something. What is that something? My spiritual learning. If I put that away, if I surrender that no, I cannot say anything to them, then I'm losing my spiritual learning. Then I'm losing the whole purpose of coming in this life. So anytime you feel, how can I say this to them? You have to, if you want to stop, without being rude, without being this, that I'm trying to be negative for them. No. If I'm defending myself, that does not mean I'm hitting someone else. There are two different things.
So Gaurav, you say that you need to know that acceptance and also when you need to say no also, correct?
Absolutely. But
Okay.
remember one thing, acceptance of what? Acceptance of that whatever is happening for my spiritual learning. Not acceptance that, oh, this person is at this level, how can I say anything to them? Whatever that level is. No.
Okay.
Doesn't
And
matter,
also most
colleague.
fear will be there. Suppose if you say no, something will happen, some relationship gone, or some suppose managers, so some he will be, revenge will do that. That kind of fear will be there, normally
Exactly.
saying no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all fear. Doesn't matter which category. It's a fear.
Okay.
I'm not saying jump and
Yeah.
slap the other person,
No,
jump
no, no. No,
and
no.
and say strongly to the other person. No.
Oh,
But first step is be aware.
okay.
Be aware that I'm fearful, that I'm not ready to speak in front of this guy. That is the first step. Second step, understand what this incident is making you learn. It's not a question of taking revenge. That is also negative energy. It will not give you any positive result. Understanding is only one thing. What this incident is telling me to change inside me. Oh, I did not communicate it. That's why he thinks it's my mistake. Or I did not. Whatever is up to you to change or work on that thing first. Don't worry about the other person.
Okay. Yeah.
Be clear who you are. Be clear even if you did, like example of child as a parent. Yes, as a parent, if you did something that was the right thing at that time, the only thing you can learn is, how will I do differently? Okay, understood. Now story ended. Doesn't matter child come 100 times and say, hey, you left me with grandparent, you left. Yes, not, history will not change. Understanding should change.
Hi, Gaurav. This is Manav. Oh, sorry. I'll wait.
Yeah. Vindhyaji, go ahead, please.
Gaurav, first of all, I know you have to go for a trek. So if this is getting too late, we can discuss next time. So, yeah, sure.
Well, if you have had something, let's go. We'll take it quickly. And then I'll go to Manav.
Okay. So on a light note, where were you when I was parenting? But, but I know we can always still fix it. So thank you for discussing and, going over and make it a discussion, open discussion. One thing I noted as you were explaining all these, it's you talk to yourself. It's like it's your mind, your intellect, your intention. That is what you're changing. You're doing it through your mind. So what if it is like deep, like you said, it can come from previous other things too? Do we still correct that using our reasoning and mind?
That's the only way you can do it. So you use meditation power. That means introspection. That means ultimately your thoughts. And when you change your thought, what changes? Your personality. Now, where is your personality coming from? We don't know, whether it is from your previous experience, your previous life, or ancestors. But the good news is, it doesn't matter between the three where it is coming from. Action is the same. You have to observe yourself. Oh, this is how I behave. This is what I do, which is meditation based, your sadhana, which will help you introspective. And then once you know, yes, this is my weakness, this is my personality trait, this is what I always do. Once you have observed, now work on it. The moment you change, you have to change your thought pattern. You cannot change your personality. But the moment you are able to change your thoughts, personality will change, the whole story around you will change.
Okay. So even the emotions that come, they will also change with my behavior and my thought.
Thoughts, emotions, then come personality.
Okay.
Right now we are straight away talking about personality, where it is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
If we say personality is coming from my own previous life or pre-life or ancestors, that means not just personality, my thoughts are also coming from one of the three direction.
Okay.
Your thoughts have to change in order for personality to change, because personality comes from your thoughts, your emotions.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav.
Welcome, Vindhyaji. Manav, please go ahead.
You're saying about thoughts and all that. What I feel, I don't know, I experienced, even if I've tried to change a lot, but if I ask my wife, she says you're the same. So what happens is there is like a DNA, there are points there. If it meets that condition, you're kind of forced to react in a way.
Well,
so every time something, those condition XYZ coordinate matches of that condition, ultimately your DNA or something goes to that and you react, right? You may realize it later. So maybe the reaction, in the last few years have changed, or you let it go. but ultimately it automatically takes you these coordinates. Whether you see a person, you don't like it, as soon as you see a person, coordinate matches, your mind says, this guy is like this or not, whether you react or not, or let it go. So eliminating those coordinates, I don't see how. It will still go to that XYZ.
Well, that's where understanding and forgiveness comes into play, Manav, because if my wisdom increases, frequency improves, my understanding of this whole different concept improves, I will be changing. I will not be the same as before. My thoughts changes, my emotion changes, my frequency changes, my DNA will change. Change means they will react differently. If my DNA is not changing, if any person comes in front of me and I react the same way, that means only one thing: forgiveness is not complete, my learning is not complete. I may have improved 80%, but 20% is still remaining. So I still pat on my back that I'm not reacting as bad as I used to, but I have some more work to do.
Yeah,
Acknowledge the journey, the gain, and also acknowledge what is remaining.
Yeah, eliminating that coordinate, and going as a circle, that coordinate doesn't exist. Those conditions don't exist. That's like 100%. So you don't react, you go there, not analyze. Suddenly, automatically, it goes like, it's fed in your brain or DNA, and then you just pass by that, right? But it takes you to that point at least like milliseconds or 1 second,
And it
So
will
there you
happen.
change your reaction. Yeah.
Even monks react under certain extreme situations, right? Nothing wrong in it. We are in a human body. We will. But all we do is we keep diluting our ego. That's what we have to do. Bottom line is we are diluting our ego. It is the ego
Yeah.
which takes you back.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. We were mentioning about glass and all that. It's my personal experience. And the way I see is, I don't keep it in my mind the guy is doing it deliberately. I have taken it off, erase that. If a glass breaks, I say that was negativity somewhere and it is gone. Whether I break, my kids break, or anyone breaks. So there was negativity, which is out the door, with that.
Yeah, but what this example means, because this was just an example, Manav.
Yeah.
But whether it is glass, whether somebody's comment, somebody's behavior, these are all same thing. With the glass, just an example of somebody coming and doing the same thing over and over again.
No, like you mentioned before, right? We have to choose who can we with. There are some relations we cannot choose. So we have to kind of completely ignore that because we cannot change it. They're looking for a reaction if they are doing that. So you chose to ignore, shut your inner blinders off, so that nothing comes there and affects you. That's the only way to fix yourself.
But just one more thing I will say, because what we were talking about before with Smitaji's question, you may choose to ignore, but not out of fear, not out of compulsion. But if you choose to ignore out of wisdom, it is correct. But if you
Yeah.
choose to ignore because of fear or ignorance or whatever, then it is not correct, because now you are compromising.
No, you're right. Means as long as I ignore and I'm not thinking in my mind, even somewhere, then I'm okay with that.
Yes.
So that's
Now
what I
you are
do,
ignoring out of wisdom.
Yeah. The only thing is things are not in my control. Let it go. Yeah. Thank you,
All
Gaurav.
right. Welcome, Shashiji. Please go ahead. Shashiji, बोलिए.
Yeah, I was saying, the whole thing, to me, it looks like a constant 24/7 effort on your part to work on yourself. Is that I'm getting right, or?
Absolutely right. आप अपने पे ही कर सकते हैं, किसी का और कुछ नहीं कर सकते, ना अच्छा ना बुरा.
That's true. So from that point of view, yes, the whole process starts with the thought and end up with your destiny. There's a lot of things you can't work on it. Just like this gentleman was saying, like, you let it go, then the other people extend their boundaries even. For you to bend down, let it go. Which sometimes it may not be very healthy for your emotions, for your own mind. So to me, the way I look at it, just everybody is different. You gotta, like, your life is a combination of so many things that not one process or one way of living works on it. You have to probably try the different techniques or apply the different processes, whatever you want to label them, to get by the situations.
Sashiji, see, everybody's story is unique.
Yes.
So I agree with what you're saying, but one has to keep, again, the same thing I will repeat. If we don't do anything out of fear or compulsion, whatever your story is, you will be in the right direction. You will see such people will go away from your life, or the same people will behave differently the moment you checkmark your learning. But if you checkmark out of fear and all, so that you don't upset someone, you don't, aggravate someone, they will keep doing.
It ends up to be a lot of struggle in your mind.
They will keep doing.
It is, yeah. It is a lot of struggle then, 24-hour struggle.
Exactly. When you do out of learning, out of wisdom, out of your improving of frequency, things then will change.
Sometimes, like, you say that, okay, I don't care, like, now I'm not fearing or anything, what will be the consequences? But like I said, it's a constant struggle in your mind, what to choose, where to go. Sometimes your even physical condition doesn't allow you. So, like you said, everybody in a unique situation, and everybody has to, I guess, figure out what works out for them.
See, without making it overcomplicated, just in 1 minute before we end.
Yeah.
What happens in this is, and I'm not trying to introduce a new topic, but this is not all what we just talked about. Where the reactions, where this feeling, where it comes from. So for example, when we interfere in someone's life, when we judge people, when we have expectations from people, this is where conflict starts coming.
That's right.
Spirituality teaches you to lower these three.
That's right.
Accept people as is. We say, why you are wearing bright colors? Well, I like bright colors. What's the problem? No, I like plain. Okay, then you wear plain. Why are you forcing me to wear plain?
Exactly.
And we can fight whole life without compromising from either side. But if I understand very simple fact, am I interfering in his life? Yes, I'm interfering. I stop expecting the person to wear plain clothes. Problem gone. So who learned? I learned. Who changed? I changed. But the problem gone. The other person is never fighting with me. I didn't change the person. I only increase my frequency, my vibration, that now I'm not interfering.
Yeah, that's where I say, right in the beginning, this is your own constant struggle, 24/7, to work on yourself.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shashiji, and thanks everyone, masters, for making it a interactive session.
Thank you.
See you. Welcome. See you in Tuesday session. Till then, namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you,
Thank
Gaurav.
you. Thank you, Gaurav ji.
Always learning new things. Thank you very much, Gaurav.
Welcome. Please keep joining, keep interacting, keep asking, and it helps everyone.
Gauravji, I had one question. I'll message you and maybe we can talk next Sunday
Sure.
regarding acceptance. Okay.
Sure. If anyone else also has, we can do the session 3 extending from that, because ultimately the aim, what I have, is that you implement and make use of it. So
Okay.
wherever out of 2-week session you have any follow-up questions, please send it to me and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, Gauravji. Even I had a question, but I will message you.
Please do
Yeah.
so.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
also in the message, let me know if you are okay to discuss in the forum or you don't want, so that I know whether to take it. And if you are not okay, I will either change it in a way that we take the intent, not the exact scenario, whichever way works for you. Okay?
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Gauravji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Gauravji. Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Bye.